Hi, can you hear me now? Lisa? Says you're connecting now. Hold on. I hear you now perfectly. All right, we'll get
Okay.
started. That's okay. It happens, right? Technology.
Yeah.
Hold on, and we'll get you started.
Okay.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Lisa, Lucia Arden joining us here today, live on the Zoom, live on the podcast. Welcome back. She's an author. She's also here proving to those that love matters most, and she's helping Americans restore freedom. And she's really rising to God's truth and wants you all to do the same as a consultant, advocate, best-selling author. She's also a talented singer, songwriter, so many things to say. I mean, she's just an amazing person. We are honored to have her back here today to always be passionate about the work she does. Hello.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I made a few songs and I put them on Facebook about Christmas and the holiday season of all holidays that people celebrate.
How do we find that?
So,
How do we find you on Facebook?
Facebook, Lisa Lucia Arden. Lisa Lucia Arden. I'm on Facebook, and also I'll put them on my website, lisaluciaarden.com. And I also have a Rise to God's Truth. So I'll be setting up my songs, but I sing, and some of those songs I know they're a bestseller because I've listened to music, and my children are musicians that are well known in the world. So I know that they have ability. But it's really the songs are to bring love and the gift of the beauty of that we're going to restore our America. Today I'm going to be talking about a few things. Because I am a political analyst, geopolitical specialist, politician, I call myself,
Mm-hmm.
and I look at the whole picture and I study different avenues of all areas of a country, our particular country, what needs to be corrected and protected. Number one, protected and safety, and empowered, and solution and corrected, and bring hope and faith through the power of the spirit of life in the people, but all in integrity and justice. Today, I wanted to talk about the situation, about the war, about the protesters, about America, and justice, and what it needs to be a person in humanity, that's in a group of humanity of in the world. How do we overcome these trials? And then four, I'll also discuss things about science, philosophy and science, about the ongoing problems with the science of, for example, this is an urgent, like an urgent red light message, that the CCP was all planned by, and I kept on telling you, by the people that are in power, called who? WHO. And they're a company that are together, that are against the people, that they wanted to bring the people down, and they knew about it way ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you this before, but I want you to look at an article on Epoch newspaper. They talk about the pandemic problems today. It's listed. It has a pink cell, a pink like cell that must be the cell of a CCP virus with strings attached, because that means they're controlling everything. And Gates was there, WHO, Petros, um, Fossey, and also the pharmaceutical companies. So they're against the people. They had a head of a plan, which I told you, that was already constructed to take down the people. And they knew about this problem before, and covered it, and also planned to destroy the
Uh-huh.
people. So this is, I know I said this all the time, because this is, again, my coin idea. I said way before. I say it a coin idea because it's connected with all the problems I talk about: geopolitical power, geopolitical technology, geopolitical economy, technology, and the world control of the nine
Yeah.
criminal companies that are criminal, that some are severer than the others. Unfortunately, and the worst one is China, and I say this every time I podcast, because we have to realize that
Yeah.
there's human trafficking and drugs, and now they have the Irish one that's similar to China. There's a criminal billionaire companies. There's 9 criminal billionaire companies that's on Africa, the Africa borders. That poor Africa, they have to now protect their borders, which they better. They're not poor. They do have money to be transposed properly like us. They need to protect their borders. They don't want to make the mistake we did. I saw that. Did you hear me? Irish is getting in, the Irish billionaire. So this is a world control situation. This is a world control situation. And so I want to say that this all has a plan to take down. When you have a big company, like you have a company of, like I'll give you an example for America. We have all the governors and the mayors and the representatives of each state that come together. And then we have the people that take care of the mayor of the communities. And then we have the business people. And then we have the president. We have the executive, of course, of the presidential in the federal control. So we have federal and state to control our whole and help our whole country. This is also with the world control. They have states. They have portions of each subject. Are you listening? That control. I'm trying to make it easy for you, brothers and sisters, in case a college student, the millennial Gen X, will see this. They have states and portions of ideas that each person controls. Do you understand? There's a list of companies that control everything. So we talk. So that's why they want to control us, because why do they want to control us? Because they're working together for a plan that's less than life. And there's always been a third world order trying to control America. But because we've had good, beautiful presidents, some of them had intention to do well, some failed, they're only human, some partially did well, some completely, like our present president is completely against freedom for America. Some things you could see a reflection. He is trying to help. He's trying to help, but mainly he is controlled, actually, I believe, by these world controls. So they pick and choose what they want to save. So, for example, the Israel war. So we're going to talk about the war. The Israel war. We need to protect Israel. And I told you in Romans 15:7, God, Jesus Christ, which he is God of the Trinity, he was a servant of Israel. It says in Romans 15:7, he's a servant to the Israel. We need to be servants to the Israel. In Israel, there's a lot of stories on both sides. And on both sides, I was shocked. Even the military have a different view that are retired military. But I believe that we need, not just what I believe, it says in the Word of God, to protect Israel. And Israel is the people of God. They're the chosen ones. And they're actually not only chosen, we are all a portion of their gene, because we're the 12 tribes of Israelites. We need to protect Israel, actually, people don't believe this, they don't think this way, to protect even the Palestinians. Because even if the land is not there yet, or they have to go to another land, they're using the Palestinians, the Hamas is using the Palestinians for shield, okay, in Gaza to get what they want, the Hamas. Don't you understand? I was shocked. This man named Ritter, he said that, oh my word, he was a past UN. He looked at military tools. He worked in the military. He said that he believed that they did the right thing, Hamas, on October the 7th. I disagree. That this is terrible. That is showing that the way they went in, it wasn't even any war protocol. And also, number one, they did such corrupt, savage killings of the people. This is terrible. Of the children, of the people, of the hostages. 13,000, 1,300 or 1,400 died. And then also there's hostages. So the way they did it was wrong. So there needs to be brought peace. But sometimes with peace there has to be war. And I give a Nobel Prize to the president of Israel and President Trump today. Both those two presidents are trying to protect the justice of our country. we need to realize this is very serious. And Iran, the man that was a retired military, because you're not always going to get the correct news. He said that that we should just pacify Iran. We can't pacify. They just we need to go into Iran with airplanes to protect Syria just recently. Did you see that? Because
Yeah.
And so he's trying to say that, the poor man, and I listened to him, and I said, okay, this is incorrect. We need to protect. So these protesters, actually, the jihad, how do you pronounce that? Those are the Muslims that are violent. Muslims are our brothers and sisters, but there's a portion, because they're all from the God of Abraham. But the jihad are the ones that are the violent. And they are the ones that are some of the participants were paid off to start all this protesting. And this is terrible. We need to protect our country. And just like President Trump said, I didn't realize that they destroyed many of the statues of Benjamin Franklin and every of those statues. This is a terrible for our country, a word I can't even explain. We need to respect our country. And those protesters, actually, they don't realize they're stripped of their identity and used of really what they represent of freedom, because they're using them. Hamas is using, Iran is using them to carry on what they are, what they really want is freedom and justice. We are helping indirectly the Palestinians when we stop the Hamas. Do you understand that? And then they could live in peace. I saw this sweet picture. They can live in peace with a child and a boy and a girl, hand in hand, Palestine and Jew. After we completely take Hamas out, and then there's going to have to be protection until they lay down their tools. But see, they don't realize the protesters that they paid and started the trouble, because they're all in a jihad, They don't realize that Iran has a bigger plan with Iran to make missiles with Russia to take over our America with China. They don't realize that other areas, of European areas, even I'm really concerned about China. I've got messages that China is very quiet, but they're behind the scenes. But Canada, I'm very concerned, because here's Russia, here's Canada. They really need a big buildup of the military. I hate to say, there's some things in Canada they're preparing to take down. We have to be very careful of Canada. And there's the borders. We're right by Canada. And then China's right in Honduras. I told you. But I'm so excited, because President Trump yesterday talked about, in his speech, about the dome. And I didn't know that they were preparing a dome to protect America that we're making. And that's what I drew. I drew like a dome of like drones in areas across America, because I told him that the dome has to be made, because I'm a geopolitical specialist, but I don't know all the details. So I have to work with the team and deliver what I think, and that we work together. And so I disagree with the people that are Muslim descent that are in our Congress. The lady that, her name, I disagree with her. She's handling incorrectly. We need to bring respect the deep problems. Remember what I said? Why are they having war? What is their motives? Why are they doing it? What is their plan? And what is their end result? And their end result is to try to take over all the areas, because that's what they said in my other podcast. The jihad, the evil military jihad, that are part. They want to destroy the ethnic cleansing of all the Jews and Christians, but they want to take down America. They chanted to take down America. They don't realize. So that's taken care of. We talked about that now. So we need to all pray to bring peace, peace and joy and happiness, and pray that we're protected. So all those protesters, you better wake up. They stripped you of all your clothes. You better put them all back on. They're using you just like they did with the Black Lives Matters. That's part of the world control of who? Of the World Economic Forum, of the world control of culture, of the Black Rock. We got to pray and for them. And the State Street, those are big political economic companies companies and Vanguard, they're giving money for loans for China to make military tools. I told you this shit needs to stop. Okay, right away. This is terrible. We better get them out of our hair. And when Trump comes in on 2024, we're going to take care of all these items. This is terrible. We need to all pray, and they should right now with the law, the leader of that state where they carry their corporation, they could bring them to court right away. That's against the law. They could bring them to court, just like Sarah Huckabee. She was there in the event yesterday. Beautiful lady. She's a beautiful politician. She made sure no CCP agriculture in our that's owned in each state should be that way. The food, we need to change the food. Here, Gates, I heard a beautiful minister that's in Pasadena. Everyone knows him. He said that Gates is in trouble, that he's going to have an awakening or something's going to happen. That's what the Spirit of the Lord also told me. I'll say that. And even like politicians, like I know President Trump has had many spiritual experiences. He doesn't always say it that way, but he does, in the right area when he's speaking. And in every area, we have experiences. People don't realize when they're directed to do the right thing. Actually, that is God's experience. When you're doing justice, that's living God's breath in you. So this is very serious. We need to do this. So the oil. The reason why he stopped the oil, Biden, let me say this very fast. Biden, the reason why he stopped the oil is because he wants to use the SPR oil, all our reserve oil from 1975. We're almost finished. We only have 17 more days of our reserve oil. And now we sanction Iran's oil. We can't use them. And also Saudi Arabia's oil, we put sanctions on them. So we have to beg for oil for other areas, Venezuela and other areas, because he's a communist. And then it's going to make the oil go very high. So we need to right away fix the borders today, and get back those tools he sold. And also we need to open up the oil wells for Christmas, just like I said last Christmas, right away to put jobs in. This is what Biden is doing. And Trump is perfectly innocent.
Yeah.
This is a scam. See, he did those things, okay, just like a beautiful attorney. His name is Owen, okay? Owen, is a beautiful attorney and judge. He says President Trump did all those things. He did business, he did this, he did that, but he didn't have crime in the American law. But Biden had crime in the American law. He did those things, but he has crime in American law. But President Trump's actions weren't crime. And anyways, his worth is worth triple. Those judges don't know anything about property value, because in real estate, when someone's very famous, their property could go up 3 or 4 times more. Did you know that?
No. Wow.
When someone's famous, their property, you know how when you sell a basketball that's owned by Mike.
So, the value goes up. Yeah.
So this is very serious. So we need to realize we need to protect America first. We need to protect America first at all sides.
Yeah.
We need to realize that we as a people need to come together and realize that America is a land of a land where God, where we have a responsibility, individuals responsible for his or her life in choosing God or worldly ideas. Hence, the divine light, wisdom, nature, grace, and power of God are then perfected in God and not mixed with the worldly or human ideas. See, we may have different purposes for bringing justice, though we deliver it individually, and we receive the divine light, grace, wisdom, nature, and power individually. Sometimes those are non-believers and even believers that are not accepted. God's gifts of divine light, wisdom, grace, nature, and power, then they may be supported by the believer that has accepted the divine nature and power of God. That is saying that even some believers, there might be issues. We need to come together. Yet God brings the sun up on the good and the evil, and God is sovereign and is actually seeking those who do not realize their gifts are from him. I saw a road that was dry and trimmed down, yet it was moist and the sides were green. We have a road in America that is a hill. The soil is moist, yet there are weeds, and we need to trim down. The sides are green and beautiful. God is on our side, both sides, every side, and even in the soil that there have been weeds planted in the past, the wrong ones, and too many that made a path in America that needs to be corrected. And we need each one of us to go up a hill. Going up the hill is making corrections, and ask God, how do you do that? All leaders in great cultures have sought God for wisdom since ancient times. God tells us through the centuries of the need to go to the correct roads. Remember Daniel 4, King Nebuchadnezzar did not humble himself. So then God he made him lose everything in the kingdom. And that's what may happen to many of the leaders, that eventually he humbled himself. We need to humble ourselves. Then eventually he humbled himself, and realizing that all he had was God, and then he became righteous to his people, and his kingdom multiplied even more. The road is important. We need to go back and bring our gifts from God back. We need to go back and correct all these things that we were talking about. We need to go back in the roads of America, making all the roads flourishing. God is on our side, both sides. God is on our side, both sides, to restore all that we have, and we together will do this. We'll together do this, and God is listening. He told me twice, once for those who are Americans and once for those who have used America. This may seem simple direction, though I have asked, how do we correct the heel that each one has taken?
Thank you so much.
Because
I'm so sorry. We're out of time.
So thank you so much. So we need to come together and first putting God in our life and correcting America, and vote freedom, vote justice, constitutional rights, Declaration of Independence, and vote freedom, vote Trump 2024. Thank you so much. I appreciate my name.
Thank you so much.
Arden.com. A Rise to God's Truth. Look me up. I have beautiful Christmas gifts and beautiful Christmas cards and Christmas art and holiday art.
And I want to hear the Christmas songs on Facebook.
Yes, and I'm also a mentor for individuals, for schools, for states, for CEOs, for presidents, and diplomats. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.